Yes, we should escape from the rain that is coming in over maybe Clare and Kerry and that sort of parts of Munster. We're going to be talking about Munster. We're going to be talking about Waterford hurling and footballer. Martin Breheny is going to be talking to us about the best Waterford footballers and hurlers. They're compiling a list of the best hurlers and footballers across each county, each province and then the country on the Irish Independent. We're also going to be talking very, very specially about our best Waterford sports person. I'll give those details in a minute. Hope you had a nice weekend. We'd like to hear from you, please, regarding your medical questions, as we've Dr. Jeff Plant coming on after 11 o'clock. 083 33 975. Or you can call Audrey and Laura on 051 846 123. We're going to talk about cancer screening. In a minute, we will be chatting with Danielle Kennedy of the Irish Hairdressers Federation. What do you think? Should they be allowed to come back a little bit sooner? Would you be happy to go to the hairdressers now, next week, the week after? Do you think we should wait until July? Let us know, please. Also, if you have any questions for opticians regarding eye care, Kel Nolke will be in to answer your questions. We'll be talking and answering your questions. We have a lovely feature starting this week on children and poetry. And we are going to be hearing from voices in the wonderful Turanina about how much and how important the GAA is to the community. As I say, you've been hearing it on the ads and the programmes have been covering it. Waterford Greatest Sporting Hero in conjunction with Flahavans. We are compiling a list of 20 names. We're going to be talking about this on Friday, our expert panel. So who do you think should be on the list? And from that list then, we will have votes all the way through June about who is Waterford's greatest sporting hero. Would it be Premier League winner, Man United great John O'Shea, Henry the Bromhead, horsing racing superior, Thomas Barr, Niamh Briggs, maybe a hurling legend, John Milan, Dan Shanahan. So the expert panel will reveal the final list of 20 nominees this Friday. And so get your text if you want coming in at the minute, just in terms of who you think might be in. I know some people are saying different names, so we want to hear as many names as possible. And our expert panel will debate and discuss that this Friday. Now, the voting, in other words, who you think should be the top person, is not going to start until May the 30th. So if you do text in, it's not part of your vote. It's just, I suppose, a suggestion that you would have about who should be there. Now, our text and WhatsApp number, like I said, 083 33 975. Now, hairdressers, they've promised to radically transform their salons in an attempt to come out of lockdown as soon as possible. They've got, believe it or not, 110 proposals they're going to put to the government later on today. And the new incoming president of the Irish Hairdressers Federation is here in Waterford, Danielle Kennedy. And the Irish Hairdressers Federation represents, they say, approximately 25,000 people, full and part-time, working in the business. Danielle, good morning.
Good morning, Damien.
How are you?
Good.
Tell me about the incoming president. You have a salon here in Waterford first.
Yeah, I do. I own the Collective by Lloyds in Waterford, and then we've another one in Wexford.
Tell me about how the COVID has affected you in terms of staff, what you've had to do, have you had to lay anybody off, or has everybody gone on the payment, or what?
Yes, so everyone in our salons are temporary laid off since March 14th. Salons, I suppose, because back in March we knew so little about COVID and how we could kind of navigate through that. Salons were one of the first businesses we closed very early on. We did the socially responsible thing and closed down, but we're closed a long time now. It's time to start thinking about reopening and pushing on hopefully for an early reopening.
I'll talk to you about that now in a second. How difficult has it been, just on a personal level as well? I suppose you've had so many people looking to see, will you do my hair privately and stuff like that, and you just had to say no.
Yeah, we don't hand out colour. We don't obviously do hair. It's very frowned upon. It's against the rules. So look, we're all in this together. I'm not doing my own hair at the minute, so we're in solidarity with our clients. I'll dye my hair when the salons are back open again.
Okay, you've got a tint of is there the orange there? What is it?
Copper. Nice big root.
Nice big root. Tell me about what you are looking for.
Yeah, so currently salons are opening they're due to open in phase 4 on July 20th. We're looking to get that brought forward to phase 3, which would be June 29th. We're looking at our EU counterparts. Our EU counterparts all reopened after 6 to 8 weeks. So we think there's a good precedent there for salons to be opening at an earlier stage. Salons, they're very sanitary environments anyway. All our tools, they're all sanitised after every client. We just need to take that sanitisation level up a notch, and we feel we can operate quite safely, keeping COVID protection measures in place.
Okay, let's talk specifics then. Are you looking at those that are working in salons? Are you looking at them having just the masks, or are you looking at having visors? Visors wouldn't be practical, would they?
No, so we have consulted with experts in the area. So visors are more for if you are face on with a person, and also they are to stop people touching their face. With hairdressers, obviously we're using our hands a lot, so the risk of touching the face is gone, because you have something else in your hand, a scissors and a comb. And also then we are behind the client. So that will be one of the recommendations, that we work predominantly from behind the client, which we will be used to working like that anyway. We would be looking at taking some of the hospitality of the salon experience out. So your communal touchables like magazines, books, that kind of stuff will temporarily be removed from salons. And then PPE wise, it will be masks and aprons, and then a full sanitisation after each client.
I suppose people wouldn't mind that as long as they're getting their hair done.
That's it. Look, salons, they're a very vital part of the community. People have a connection with their stylist. They go into a salon, they leave feeling really good. So a little bit of the hospitality element is gone, but that personal experience is still there with the stylist. And because salons are going to be a little bit limited by numbers, that personal element we actually feel will probably be stepped up a notch, because you will get more one-on-one time with your stylist. So there's negatives, but also there's a lot of positives as well.
Let's talk about what the government might say in response to what you're saying, to say, hold on a second, it's a very close contact form of employee, I suppose, customer relationship. It does bring hazards. Why should we make an exception, or why should we bring forward by 3 weeks? Can you not wait the extra 3 weeks? What would you have to say to that?
Yeah, well, look, the government, they released the roadmap, and then within 24 hours they came out and they said we invite industries to submit applications if they feel they can open earlier. We feel our industry can open earlier and operate quite safely, so we're putting forward to do that. There is a lot of elements like contact tracing is a big thing for government, and salons are very well set up for contact tracing. We have all our clients' details anyway, so things like that, they're very easy for us to navigate through and to abide by the government return to work safely protocols.
Why is it so important for you to be pushing this now, for you as the incoming president to be pushing this now?
Well, we're a body that represents over 400 salon owners in Ireland. They're all out of work. There's over 25,000 people currently out of work, and we want to get those people back to work. Hairdressing is a passion industry. People are very, very passionate about their jobs, and the majority of the industry, we all want to get back to work. We want to see our clients. They want to do their hair, and we want to get back to some sort of normality. And then obviously there is a huge pressure from the public. They want those services as well.
But you want to be safe.
But we want to be safe, exactly.
And can you guarantee safety with these proposals?
We think we can operate. Look, we all know that we all have to find a way of navigating through the COVID situation, and all businesses have to adapt, and we feel we're very well equipped to adapt.
What's the plan now? Are you going to be proposing and going to government? Are you looking for lobbying? How are you going to progress this campaign, if you want to call it like that?
All of the above. Everything. So yeah, we're lobbying. We have some engagement with government bodies this week to kind of look over our protocols, see how they feel about them. Do they want more? Do they want stuff taken out? And then we would hope to present to government by the end of the week, and then release them to the salon industry next week, all going well.
Danielle, thank you very much to you and all your staff. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Danielle. What do you think? I think we're entering a very difficult and interesting and maybe dangerous phase of this entire debate. It seems to be shifting, and just noticing as well over the weekend, there are far fewer medical experts on. We're now talking about the pressure that is coming on from businesses to reopen different aspects. For example, there's a clamour regarding the limiting of funerals. Pressure is mounting, says the headlines, on the government to lift heartbreaking funeral restrictions. The Irish Hospice Foundation's funeral directors and some clergy are joining calls to allow more than 10 mourners. We've just heard from the Irish Hairdressers Federation. Good morning. Are blow dries gone in hairdressers as the virus could be airborne? Another question. Good morning. If the hairdressers are going back, then the pubs should be allowed to go back. It's as simple as that. If anything, they have to get closer to people in hairdressers, and you're next to that person for maybe 1.5 hours. Good morning, Damien. I have a medical question. We'll come back on that. Good morning. Regarding lifting restrictions and people moving a bit too far, were there any guards on duty in Dunmore yesterday? It was disgraceful, the amount of young people in the village, and up to 10 people in groups, some of them hugging each other. Their parents must have dropped them out. So how are we meant to move on to stage 2 if they can't follow stage 1? It's not on, says that texter. And we had a letter, a lovely handwritten letter from a listener in Kilmacthomas. Good morning. I am one of the over 70s having and living in Kilmacthomas. I haven't been out for weeks. Now I get out for a little walk every day. I used to play golf until recently. We're a great county. But I can't understand how the people of Kilmac and Ballydurn think Dungarvan Golf Club is within 5 miles or 5 kilometres or whatever. Are the guards policing the roads on this? There are people going to the golf clubs that are definitely more than 5 kilometres from the golf club. It's a disgrace, says this person. And it seems to be one law for some people and one law for another, says that person. Speaking of different issues that come up, we had a text in from Richard, and he wants to know if any of our listeners have any issues with Tree, the phone company, in terms of their bill pay and over the last while. I'm a frontline worker through the pandemic. I feel I have been really robbed from Tree. My 28-day credit expired on the 18th of May. I topped up with €20 on the 20th of May. I made 3 calls on the 19th to a lady, and she's also on 3. 5 calls on the 20th, and the customer rep for 3 said that's where my €20 was charged to. So basically what 3 said, it is legal since the promotion is just valid for 28 days. If you don't top up on the 28th day and use the services, you'll be charged the standard rate through your credit balance. So basically this person believes that terms and conditions should be highlighted more. I can't see what rates are being charged and credit has been taken away. So anybody any issues with 3 over the last while, let us know, please. Another texter, dentists are open, so why can't hairdressers? That's a very, very good point. Another person has texted in some information from a clip in Missouri where hairdressers potentially exposed clients. So again, somebody saying that no, they shouldn't be going back as quick as they should. Regarding sporting heroes, Joe Harney recently died. A humble legend, kept Christie ring scoreless, says this person. And without that, we may not even hold an All-Ireland title. That's from Mary. So she believes that Joe Harney should go into that list. Another texter saying that definitely John Keane should go into that list. Keep your texts coming in about hairdressers. Why can't people just go with the government guidelines? They're there for a reason. Another person, Damien, the hairdressers are trying to reopen in June. Hopefully they will. But how do mobile barbers get away with it? Are they cutting hair? Surely this could be breaking the rules. Good morning. I'm a hairdresser and I think the numbers need to be monitored over the next couple of weeks. I also can't wait to go back to work and I miss my clients. I wore a mask shopping. I find it very hard. I cannot imagine working 8 hours a day with a mask on. There you go. Some of the points and some of the questions. 083 3333 975. Now the message is already flooding in. Good morning. I'm a hairdresser of 25 years. I completely disagree with Danielle. I don't believe hairdressers should be back at present. They should wait until phase 3. I don't want to risk any of my staff on a busy Saturday. Everyone running around in a salon. The 2 metres won't happen. It's hard to maintain it. And this lady believes that the Irish Hairdressers Federation, it's the same abbreviations, shouldn't be speaking on behalf of all the hairdressers. Another texter says the hairdressers opened up in Spain and Italy almost straight away, so I can't see why Ireland is waiting so long. We should open up. Another texter, if meat factories can stay open with cases in them, I think salons should be allowed to open along with other things. Fair is fair. Keep your texts and comments coming in, 083 3333 975. Now, the GAA and many sporting organisations at the heart of many communities, whether it's in towns or cities, whether it's Waterford or Galway or wherever it is, Dungarvan. Now, particularly in small rural areas, the GAA can be even more important to a community. So the field is more than just, I suppose, a field of dreams. It can have a running track around it. It can be a centre for the community. Can people just go up and meet and have a chat? One of those places is Slieve Gua St Mary's in Turanina. I paid a visit last Friday. Again, social distance with all the interviews, and spoke to these people outside. Just a couple of people joined me. I want to say to everybody, hello to everybody in St Mary's and Turanina, to Mush and to everybody there. And I started this little piece with a chat with JP Fitzpatrick. So we're up here in the beautiful Turanina. Good afternoon, folks.
Hi, Damien. How are you doing?
JP?
How are you doing? How are you getting on?
Who's this man on your right?
This is Tom Conn. He's our hurling selector and our former treasurer.
Tell us about this wonderful club we're in at the minute.
I suppose we're known as Slieve Gua St Mary's GA Club. We're in the foothills of the Cummer Mountains and between the Knockmeal Downs, real picturesque area. It's a small club. We've been very successful of recent times. We're both playing intermediate football and intermediate hurling, so we're punching above our weight.
And your treasurer here sitting just beside us, she's the main person to talk, I'm told.
Oh yes, she's the main one behind it all. That's Kay Ware. Kay is our treasurer. She signed up this year. She's doing fantastic work on the books, and she's actually taken over from Tom really seamlessly. So fair dues to Kay. She's holding it.
How are you, Kay?
Hi, Damien. How are you?
Good to see you. Are you keeping well?
I'm fine now, thanks.
Just to describe, we have a lovely ball alley here. We'll talk to Tom about that in a minute. We've got the pitch here behind us. Everybody's observing all the guidelines.
Yes, everybody's observing the guidelines, and as you see, we have our hurling wall here which can't be used at the moment, and we also have lovely walking track around our pitch here, which was being used an awful lot at the start of all this COVID. But since the end of March, then when we got directive from Croke Park to close it down, unfortunately a lot of people are missing out on that, and it's a pity just that we can't be using it here at the moment, because it is a fantastic facility here.
Everybody's observing it, like there aren't anybody coming up. You've asked everybody basically just not to use it, and everybody's been very good.
Yeah, everybody has been fantastic really with it, and I suppose just keeping within their radius at home, and that we had to put a lock on the gate here, unfortunately, which isn't the thing to do with a GA pitch, to have a lock on the gate.
Obviously there's no costs at the minute in terms of running teams, but there'll be ongoing costs for any GA club.
Oh, of course there's always costs there. Smaller costs, and not as much at the moment now, but
and fundraising has stopped.
Fundraising has been stopped, and we always have good fundraisers here. We have our long puck, and that's a great family event here in the summertime as well. We do barbecues and that here for everybody.
So that's gone as well.
Yeah, it's gone, and I suppose, we were lucky enough, I suppose, that we got the club draw over and done with before all this stopped, and with the Deise draw now not in place at the moment either, it's more funding that's not coming in.
Who's this man beside us?
I'm Donna.
Hello, Donna. How are you getting on?
I'm good.
Would you like to be out there playing?
I would, yeah.
What's your favourite position?
Corner forward.
How much are you missing the sports?
Really missed it because we have no people, there's no one around it. It's a bit of a ridiculous, but we have to have a bonus until this corona thing goes.
Like, looking at it now, the pitch is cut, the grass is lovely, the birds are singing, the sun is shining.
I'd always be out there, but...
Who's this little girl beside us?
I'm Abby.
Hello, Abby.
Hello.
Daddy is here beside you, is he?
Yeah.
Tell us, what position do you play and what do you play yourself?
I play camogie and ladies football.
Under what?
Under 14.
Looking at the pitch, and the same thing I asked to Donna, what do you think?
I miss it so much. I'm out in the garden every day now, it's just not the same. I'd rather be out here in the pitch. Yeah.
And are you trying to keep up your skills, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing Zoom classes as well with the fitness stuff, and
tell me about that.
It's very hard. Most of the time I don't know what I'm doing, but I try to keep up with it.
Because people talk about how youngsters are getting on, and as we heard, you're all observing it, but It must be really frustrating. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like, I just really want to come down here and just hit the ball and kick the ball everywhere. But there's a lock on the gate and we have to respect that anyway, so.
Is your dad ever going to retire?
Nope.
Never?
Never.
He's a bit like me, is he? How old is he? He's more hair than me, but he's ever going to retire, is he?
No.
It'll be on his tombstone. One more year. One more year.
Yeah.
Is he any good?
Yeah.
He's all right, is he?
Yeah, he's
What
grand.
position does he play?
Goal.
Goals. Next one is out the gate. Tom, tell us, what do you think about all this?
It's very disappointing for us, especially when you're involved with the younger players, and coming off a great season that we had last year where we qualified for the Munster Junior Hurling final, and we're really looking forward to this year then taking part and going up a grade intermediate and starting to prepare well again. And then all of a sudden then the full stop has come, which is very disappointing. It's very disappointing to see an empty ground and empty dressing rooms in the night time. We never took it for, probably took it for granted, that we just came and sat down and watched the training, got involved in training and looked on at all the activity. I live near the pitch anyway, so nearly 5 nights of the week I would be down here. Even if there was a juvenile match there, you'd walk down to look at it. We're just missing all that now, totally.
Because part of the reason we're going around talking to people is that idea of the pitch. It's not just a pitch, it's the heart of the community. And we can get cliched about this and overstate things, but that it's your life.
Yeah, well, it's probably similar for every GA club, and especially rural GA clubs. The rural GA club is the mainstay of any rural parish. We'll say the church, the school, maybe 2 pubs, and the hurling and GA pitch, and to have that closed, it's terrible in a rural community.
At least you don't have to be asking the treasurer for money now for going away for trips and stuff.
Yeah, but still, even to exist as a GA club, the overheads could be up to 10,000-15,000 even before you even go near the pitch at any given year. So all that funding would have to be in place anyway. So really, it's not about the money part of it isn't. It's not any. There's no such thing as saving or anything like that. It's just, yes, it's pretty sad. So hopefully, that there will be an end to it. In the near future, and that we can get back. I think it will have to get back to some degree at some stage anyway.
Could they open in the next, we'd say, month? Could they open the pitches for limited activity, supervised, or some way around it? Because it seems a shame that youngsters are able to go to certain parks, but they're not able to come to a beautiful pitch like this.
Yeah, but you see, the GA is such a large organisation, and you have a different type of club in Dublin and in Cork, where you would have 2,000 and 3,000 members. The same rules abides for all GA clubs at the moment, and until that's changed, maybe, you know what I mean. In rural clubs, you wouldn't have anything like that amount of people or anything like that. But it's just the guidelines will have to be adhered to, as in any GA club. We'll just have to abide by them at the moment.
JP, what do you think of that?
Yeah, Tom is right there, and it's a fair assessment really of the GA. But I think our club out in the rural community, we have got together and we have actually worked around people, changes happen for everybody, so it's no different for us at the GA club. We've started up doing Microsoft Teams meetings now, so we've had 4 meetings already in the past 10 weeks due to the shutdown. That's working well, so we're adapting to that. We're also adapting to reaching out, and we're holding different little events here and there. Only last Saturday night we started off ourselves and the community centre and the community people started off a Facebook live sessions thing. We call it Slieve Goa Sessions. So what we do is we get 10 people in the community, whether they can sing, dance or tell a story, and we Facebook it live. Started at 9 o'clock, it finishes at 11, and we only kicked it off on Thursday evening, and we've 1,200 friends on it already. Some of the events that were on it last Saturday night have over I think they've over 1,200 views on it. So it's been, we have to change, we have to adapt like a lot of other clubs, and it's great to keep connection with people on that.
But it's no substitute for being out here shouting at the cornerback.
Absolutely not. You know,
the cornerbacks.
The cornerbacks. We've two good cornerbacks, and we've Killian Tobin on one side and Ronan Gleeson, two good young lads and tough as nails. But I know, look, there's even good lads on the bench that can come in cornerback as well. So I know you'd miss that. There's no doubt about it. I think we were fortunate enough in one sense. We had such a long year with the Munster Club run. We did very well. We were playing up to, I think, the 6th of December. When we came back in the new year, we got straight into training again, and we played the Intermediate League final in February, and we pulled off a victory there. So I think we're the only club will go down this year if there's no hurling to come out with a trophy at the end of the year. So maybe we're in line for Club of the Year this year.
In terms of the children and what they're feeling as well, it's one thing about adults, and then the children just want to be out. Everybody wants to be out, but the children especially.
Yeah, I suppose, like, you know, the underage, you know, the coaches have done massive work. You know, the kids, I see my own kids now, we just go out to the garden, we do as much as we can, you know, but there's no substitute for being with their friends. I think, you know, that's the biggest challenge. It's grand being on Zoom and Teams and all that, but there's nothing beating being out in the field, supporting each other. The actual skill set that kids get playing with each other and being around each other is invaluable, and they're missing that at this moment in time.
One more year?
I don't know about that. No, I didn't even play the league final, so I had my mind made up before COVID-19. So I don't think it'll be one more year.
Tom, I'd say he's itching to get back, is he?
Sure, like, it's terrible for him. Like, you know, I mean.
We'll say nothing. He could be forced to retire, huh? Selection issues?
No, I don't think so. No.
He's all right, is he? I hear he's okay.
Oh, yeah. As soon as we get back now, he'll be back.
Folks, thanks very, very much.
Lovely.
Now, JP's looking to get back. People are looking to get their hair done, and others are saying, no, it's going to be too difficult. I'm a hairdresser, says this texter. I wore a mask and gloves to try to cut my husband's hair. After 2 minutes, I'm pulling in and out of the mask to try to breathe. The sweat is under the gloves, and not to mention cutting the middle finger off every pair of gloves at the start of the cut. It's impossible to wear this PPE in a salon, and with the heat of the dryers on top of it. We should be leaving it to phase 4 when we know it's safer in our workplace for both us and our clients. My main concern is that what if we run out of PPE, so we'd have to close again, says that texter. Another texter saying some hairdressers are making a fortune on the black market, says this person. Regarding barbers and other matters, a texter from the middle of the county says there's a hairdresser not far from him that is working away out all the time, working at weekends with her usual clients, bringing in family and friends with them. So let us know what you think about that. Stay with us. We're going to be talking about Waterford FC, Waterford United, next. Now, in a minute, I'm going to be talking to Matt Keane. Firstly, a couple of your texts. There are a lot of hairdressers working from home already. Good morning. Can you please play a request for Danny Thompson from Turanina, who had a birthday on Saturday? He listens every morning. Hello, Danny. Hope you're keeping well. And also hello to Elma Didi. Happy birthday to you, Elma. Mike texted in, can you find out if the bar in the Dáil is open, please, says Mike. Mike, I don't know where you're heading there. What's the story with that? But we'll see. People texting in about our Waterford's sporting hero, John O'Shea, Francis Connors, Jim Beglin. Some people are saying, and others talking about social distancing. Where's all the social distancing gone? I was in Tramore yesterday. It was a disgrace what took place. Nobody being 2 metres apart. And so many people text coming in regarding the travel ban. Going to go straight to Matt Keane. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Damien. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thanks. Good to talk to you. Matt, we have a few minutes to talk about Waterford. We're going to talk about the Junior League and a little bit about League of Ireland. Let's talk firstly about Lee Power. And as people may know, Lee Power is the owner of Waterford. He is also the Swindon Town chairperson. There have been a couple of court cases in the last week or so regarding administration possibly of Swindon Town. What's the latest, do we know, Matt, or how is this going to affect Waterford, do you think?
Yeah, well, to the best of my knowledge, 2 of them have been sorted against Mr. Power, and I think there's another one coming up also. So a bit of a worrying situation indeed over there. I was reading up on a lot of the cases. My God, there's some reading in it, like, you know, but it would appear things weren't exactly done by the book, let's say. They were done in an unconventional manner over there. It's a bit of a mess over there at the moment. And of course the EFL, we don't even know if the EFL, the league they were in Division 2 is going to be completed and League 1. But it looks like Swindon have got promoted. Of course, they have Noel Hunt on the books over there as the assistant manager. It looks like they get promoted, but off the field, it appeared that everything is not rosy in the garden, and it's a bit of a worrying situation indeed for Swindon. And as you alluded to there, Damien, it's also a very worrying situation at the moment for Waterford, because the League of Ireland, we have no idea what's going to happen with it. The FEI are sending out emails after email after email. And, it's getting totally confusing at this stage. When exactly will the League of Ireland get up running again in 2020?
It's really difficult. And on the Swindon Town thing, just to remind people, the club is basically, Lee Power told the court the club could go into administration as he failed to overturn an injunction preventing the sale. He said an American-based company was willing to buy the Robins, that's their nickname, for £7.5 million sterling. Now, if whatever happens over in Swindon, that doesn't necessarily mean that whoever takes over Swindon is going to take over Waterford. They're two separate companies, effectively, from what I can see from the reports, Matt, as you say. And there's a lot of confusion in this. But it basically means that we don't really know where we stand here, don't we not?
No, we have no idea at the moment. Now, having said that, the Power family have not said that moving away from Waterford.
Correct, yes.
Power came out, I remember a couple of weeks ago, and he said he was totally against League of Ireland football when he played this season, And he was sort of hoping for, I suppose, October, November sort of thing, But as we said, the League of Ireland were supposed to come out with a financial package for the League of Ireland clubs to play this behind closed doors football last week. That's now been deferred for another 2 weeks. And I suppose you have to feel sorry for the people in the FEI also, because they inherited an incredible mess from the former people that were involved in the FEI, and all this stuff now has been landed on top of them. So it really is tough going. Of course, when John Delaney left, Paul Cook went in as interim CEO, and one or two other people in the moment. Everything appears to be interim this and interim that up there. So they've inherited an incredible mess up there at the moment. They
really are, yeah. Let's talk about local football for a minute, Matt. The decision was made at the weekend that the Junior League has decided to abandon, I suppose, or cancel is the right word, to cancel the league as it was up to now, and the new season will start in the middle of October. I think a lot of the clubs had been surveyed before, and 2-1 they'd said they wanted to cancel, but it basically means there's not going to be any Junior League soccer, Waterford and District, that includes South Kilkenny and over to Carrick, until October.
I think it was a very good decision by the Waterford District Junior League, and I tell you why, because I was speaking to a highly ranked committee member of one of our biggest clubs over the weekend, and he made a fantastic statement to me, something that I had never thought of. He said, if we have a home match and we have to sanitise our dressing room and the visitors' dressing room before the match, at half-time the two dressing rooms would have to be sanitised again. And then when the match is over, they have to be sanitised again. So that's, that's incredible. That's 6 rooms that have to be sanitised. 2 rooms 6 times had to be sanitised. And it's madness. And then you'd have, players working in factories, maybe on shift work, more of them working in shops. They could be running off to play a match. So, although we're all bitterly disappointed, we have to wait until October, because that's the football that we really love, Damien. But I think it was an excellent decision by the Waterford District Junior League, and I congratulate them on doing it now. I know a lot of people are, upset. And what was the vote? 21-12 or something, was it originally?
That was with the clubs originally, yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, I suppose that was a survey, and it was 2-1 in favour of not going ahead. In other words, to cancel the league. Now, some clubs might feel different now, but at the same time, that's what the club said a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was a good decision. Look, the few months will pass. They'll pass, and we'll get over it. And we'll all rejoice and jump up and down with happiness come October. But no, I agree with it. I totally agree with the decision. But can I just go back to Waterford again? You know the man who I feel really sorry for? I really do, is Alan Reynolds, the manager. Yes. He's done an absolutely incredible job. I mean, Lee Power came in and he was great, and they saved the club because, a couple of years ago, people like myself and other people were out supermarkets with buckets looking for money to try and keep the club going. Lee came in and he said, I want to get this club out of the first division. They've been in it for 10 years. I want to get them out at the first go. And Anna Reynolds built a team and he got them out of it. And then, of course, they took off like a bomb in 2018 in the Premier League. It was incredible what happened. We qualified for Europe. And then, of course, the European dream was taken away. And, that hurt Lee Power big time. It hurt everybody, the fans and everybody. And then, we got going again. We thought last Christmas that, we wouldn't have a team. But Lee Power said, look, I'm going to continue. The budget will be lower. And Alan Reynolds built another team. So Alan Reynolds has actually built 5 teams since 2017 out there. He's done an incredible job. And the amount of players that came in, and brilliant players, Stanley Yeboah, Bastian Heary, all these guys, Sander Puri, fantastic players. And there's young kids that love Waterford now, Waterford FC Football Club, and the older fans, they loved it. The last 3 years have been absolutely amazing. So it wouldn't be a dreadful, dreadful shame if all this thing went up in smoke, because the last 3 years, Damien, and you'd be out in the RSC and at the away matches, I see you with your little son at the away matches. The last 3 years have been a roller coaster of joy for every one of us. It's been absolutely fantastic. And I also feel sorry for the players. I'm speaking to a lot of the players. Mental health has to come into these guys. Andy Coates, one of the new players, and people like that. Brian Murphy's. They just want to get back playing, and their mental health must be wrecked at this stage because
yes,
they're so used to the routine of training every morning out there. It was great. They're not on a king's ransom by any matter of means, but they love it. So mental health of these players come into it also. So it's a dreadful mess at the moment. David, hopefully the FAI will come out, because they were talking about something in the region of €70,000 for every club when this behind closed doors football starts. 70,000, that wouldn't last two matches. Damien, never mind, the remainder of the season. So they'll have to come up with a decent package in 2 weeks' time.
Matt, very, very well said. I couldn't agree more on everything you've said there about Alan Reynolds. I concur 100%. Listen, it's great to talk to you.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
5 teams he's built.
That's phenomenal,
we had to depend on loan players. And, you'd have one team at the start of the season. And when the midterm break came in, he'd have another team. But, I mean, the teams that he's built have given us so much joy and so much pleasure. And Waterford FC have come through turbulent times since they were formed in 1930, and I genuinely believe they will come through again. Now, Lee Power, by all accounts, had someone ready to purchase the club there before Christmas, and I think there was something in the region of 150,000. I don't know whether it was pounds or euros was in the difference. But who's going to come in and buy a club now? Would you buy a pub at the moment?
Matt, listen, we'll talk to you Friday. God bless, and thank you so much for that.
Oh, Kieran, and Damien, before I go, Kieran Power is one of the really great...
Oh, yes.
He's our most successful Olympic cyclist. It's incredible, and he's the guest on Sporting Legends tonight at 6 o'clock. And, of course, when I recorded that interview, let's say cycling wasn't that clean. We put it that way. And Kieran tonight explains how he knew one of the cyclists in the Olympic Games was drugged up.
Yes.
And he described him as the guy with the big fat head. He was just drugged up. And he said, and this guy walked away from the Olympic Games with a medal. But he said, Kieran Power says, I walked away from the Olympic Games with a proud heart, he said, with a clear conscience,
I'm looking forward to listening to it,
the guy that won the medal should throw it in the bin because he won it in a dirty, horrible manner. So that's Kieran Power tonight. Had to get it in there, David.
No, I was going to mention it. You're very good, Matt. Listen, God bless you. Take care, Matt. Thanks very, very much.
Look after yourself, Damien. Take care.
Thanks very much, Matt. Stay with us because we're going to be talking to wonderful Ian Galgi now about a fabulous fundraiser that's coming up in memory of a very nice chap. Now, he's been waiting on the line there. Good morning, Ian. How are you getting on?
How are you, Damien?
Good to talk to you. Thank you very much, Ian Galgi. The Shave or Die for Bomber fundraiser. Talk to me a little bit about the man himself first, Ian, if you wouldn't mind. A little tribute to him.
No bother at all. Look, he was a great lad. Anything he turned his hand to, he was good at it. He was an excellent goalkeeper of Villa. A great GA player, first of all, with Aaron's own, and then with ourselves up in Mount Sion. As I said to Gerald Orton during the week, he was always the fastest man in the field. He was a bullet, just give him the ball and he'll run. he was a great fella to life and soul of his heart,
As you say, a go-to man on the field. It's important to have somebody like that you give him the ball and he'll take off. He was very good at that, wasn't he?
He would, and he'd do it time and time again, fair play to him.
And unfortunately, tragedy a few years ago, and deeply missed. And I suppose we talk about, communities coming together, and played a little bit about Túranina this morning and the club being at the heart of the community. And we talk about three very important clubs, like you mentioned there, Villa, Erin's Own and Mount Sion, and you've come together really strongly. You've a great club there in Mount Sion in terms of trying to do something. What are you looking at doing, Ian? Talk to me please about it.
So I suppose it was 9 or 10 days ago now. I was just finished work in Tevan. I came home, I was watching the Late Late Show, and I think it was Owen McDermott or someone was on it, and he was getting his head shaved, and it was just like a little light bulb moment, I just texted around into a couple of WhatsApp groups and asked a few lads, could we do something in memory of Bomber? Could we do an old shaving the heads or something like that? And the response was slow enough. And I suppose when I got up on the Saturday morning, I was talking with Austin Gleeson. We decided we change it to a shave or die. And we had a few more brave people come forward then. And as I said this morning now, I have 39 names down on the list here for people to take part in the shave or die this Saturday coming. Which is absolutely brilliant. It goes to show the type of fella Bomber was, and the friends and family he had loved him dearly. So it's the response has been overwhelming.
Phenomenal,
to be honest with you, and it just goes to show like the Waterford people time and time again come together and show their worth. You seen Frank Quinlan yourself, and even James Casey there recently, involved in running and raising a lot of money for Pieta House. So it's great.
It really is. It's phenomenal. It's a lovely tribute to Bomber. It's great and a lovely way to remember him, and for the family it's a lovely tribute, and for so many people to be coming involved. And it's great as well, Ian, for the club to be coming together in something like this, because you can't get together on the field. So how do people donate? Because we want to help you out and try to promote this. There's a GoFundMe page, is that it?
Yeah, it's not actually a GoFundMe, but it's like a GoFundMe.
Yeah, it's like it. Yeah,
there's a link there on all the social medias. You'll see it. You have it up yourself, Damien. Thanks very much for sharing it. So basically, you just follow the link and you make a donation. It'll be on my own page. It'll be on Waterford GA. Have it up. I'm sure Double R might post it for me after this today. You shared it as well during the week. So.
And how much of you, like you were hoping, just you set the bar fairly low, and then just tell me how much you've got promised already. It's phenomenal.
Well, to be honest, I think that the target the smallest target I could put in when I set up the page last Saturday was 5,000. So I just put in a 5,000 target as a rough ballpark figure. And between donations directly to Pieta and on the page, and the fundraiser page, I have just a couple of euros shy of 7,500 so far.
Wow!
So it's absolutely crazy. There's a couple of people I need to thank. It hasn't just been all me. As I said, as mentioned already, Austin Gleeson has been doing a lot of work in the background. I want to thank my own employer Teva for helping me with it and making a donation to Pieta, to Taylor Murray, the Water PRO, for helping me get the video out there the weekend. Also, Azuri sponsored me a Waterford jersey, which Austin's going to help me get signed by all the teams. So, as I mentioned the weekend, from here on in, anybody who makes a €10 donation or more, you'll be entered into a signed Waterford GA jersey.
Yeah, it's a lovely incentive. And fair play to Ozzy. Yeah, no, they're doing great work, and for all the players to be signing that as well, it's great, because it takes a bit of work to get around and make sure everybody signs it as well. So that's takes a lot of organisation. It's great, Ian, when you see a response like that, isn't it?
Absolutely, Damien. We couldn't have picked a better charity than Pieta House. Because of the loss of darkness and the light, they've lost out $6.5 million, and there was talks having to cut 30% of their staff. And for an organisation like Pieta to suffer them losses would be tragic. Mental health is a real thing. It's out there. It affects every household up and down the country. 1 in 5 people suffer from it. There's a lot of things, like over 264 million people worldwide suffer from depression. So for Pieta House to suffer them losses, it would be huge. So I'm delighted to help out in any way I can.
Yeah, it's great. So anybody out there, if you're listening to this, if you want to go on to Ian Gallagher's page on Facebook or on Twitter, and there's a lot of links there, and other clubs have shared it, or onto Ozzy's page. And listen, we'll give it another mention later in the week, and we'll continue to help promote it. And Ian, congratulations, well done, and fair play to you, and it's a lovely tribute to Bomber.
Thanks very much for having me on, Damien, and I'd just like to say a massive thank you to Bomber's family, to his parents, Bob and Emma, to his sister, Kira, and the other family for all their help and allow me to do it in his name.
Lovely. Well done. Very well said. Ian, take care. God bless.
Thanks a million. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ian. Very good. That is a beautiful thing to do. And well done to Ian, well done to Ozzy, well done to everybody involved. As you heard, there are dozens of people getting involved with that. And I want to say a special hello to Bombers family, and take care and mind yourselves.